Let's make that paint more wet. Today I'm going to show you the 4 different ways I can make paint more wet with Liquitex mediums. Please comment if you have any questions and subscribe if you like art. The first thing I'm going to do is just put down hopefully 4 equal dots of paint of both of these different kinds. Liquitex Heavy Body Acrylic, Naphthol Crimson. Just putting a little dot of paint down here so there's not too much. It's just a small area. I put out 4 dots of quinacridone red, Nova color here, and I put 4 dots of this Liquitex Naphthol Crimson down here. So I'm going to show you 4 ways to make these paints more wet. The first way is water. Acrylic is water-based. So if I want this tube paint to go on smoother, I can add water to it. And then it'll go on real smooth. It won't drag as much. But if I put too much water into it, when it dries, it'll be a very grayed out version of the color. So there's something to consider. Now let's take the Nova color quinacridone red and add water to it. Same thing. This paint is already very smooth to begin with. But if you add water to it, you can really thin it out. That's going to look a little bit clouded and matte, very matte when it dries. The next one up is Liquitex Flow. It comes in a container that looks like this, and we'll put a little bit of flow down here. Now this recipe in here is what's on the back of the flow. It is 1 part flow aid to 20 parts water. I'm going to put that right here, and I'm going to put some of it right here. So the flow aid is binder free. I'm going to wipe all the water off my brush. Basically, Flow Aid is paint thinner. I call it Water Plus. I don't know if you can tell, but it's basically putting more color into the wetness. This is Liquitex Flow with a Nova color acrylic. Airbrush medium is extremely liquidy. It is going to also add a gloss. So you could use this airbrush medium to thin out your paint. So here's another one, airbrush medium and Liquitex Heavy Body Acrylic. You can use it to thin your paint out, to make it go on smoother. It's going to leave your paint glossy, but it's as wet as water. The last one, the 4th way to make your paint more wet, and I have to say that there is a disclaimer here, that with paint that's already very wet, Alright, so here's some matte medium. Disclaimer, matte medium does not make really wet paint like Nova Color or like Liquitex Soft Body. It doesn't make the paint wetter. What it does is, it's basically clear acrylic, so it adds transparency. It makes it more clear. This is a cool thing to note. If you like wet soft paint like Nova Color or like the Liquitex Soft Body, you have Heavy Body Acrylic here. You put a little bit of matte medium here, and if you mix it together, it takes a while, but if you mix it together, you will basically have a soft body paint. So that's the cool thing about matte medium. You can also do that with these ones here, but matte medium is like clear acrylic, so it's gonna hold the paint way better. It has a binder in it. All right, so again, this is gonna make it nice and smooth. One thing I did want to point out is that with the water and the Liquitex Flow, these ones are gonna make the paint take a little bit longer to dry, just simply because you're making them wetter. But the airbrush medium and the matte medium are not going to extend the wetness time of the paint. I thought that was a pretty important point to make. Once these are dry, I'll do a little flyby so you can really get a good look at them. Okay, here's the review. The first row here is just acrylic mixed with water. This one's still taking forever to dry. I added a lot of water. Let's see how it adds. It looks a little cloudy. It loses that shine that acrylic has. The second one here is Liquitex Flow, which is, you can see, really pushes the paint through the liquid so that it goes out to the very edges. It has a very distinct look. I would recommend using Liquitex Flow over water to wet your paint. Here's the third one, Airbrush medium. Remember how I said it would dry glossy? It dries glossy. And then matte medium, again, does not liquefy like really fluid paint, but you can take tube paint and add matte medium to it and make it really fluid, like almost soft body. So there's the tips I have for you about how to make your paint more wet depending on what kind of paint you're using and depending on which Liquitex product I was using. If you have any questions, again, ask in the comments. I really appreciate you supporting me by subscribing to my art channel